Good afternoon. My name is Ben McElroy, the transfer coordinator at Worcester State University, and I'm pleased to share this Greenfield Community College Healthcare Week information session with you. At Worcester State University, we make transferring easy as possible. One of the ways we do that is that we participate in the mass transfer program, including several different A to B program links, nursing being one of them. We do maximize your transfer credits, whether you're a GCC student or have attended multiple colleges and universities, because our goal is really to minimize your remaining degree requirements. We have dedicated and experienced staff helping to enroll new transfer students. It starts here in the transfer center, which is associated with the admissions office here at Worcester State. But beyond that, we have folks in financial aid who are well-versed in transfer student populations. We have an academic success center, and all of the advisors are fairly well-versed in advising the new transfer students on their first semester schedule, and plenty of other offices and departments who are dedicated to this process as well. And the reason we have that type of staff structure is that we want to ensure that you become a Worcester State University community member even before the semester begins. And this extends from the point of initial contact through orientation and then the first several weeks of classes and beyond. We enrolled little over 500 new transfer students in last academic year, 2020-2021. It's a little bit lower than usual, but we plan to bring those numbers up in future semesters and years. Those 500 or so students derive from about 1,000 transfer applications overall between the spring and fall semesters. This is fairly typical. About 30% of our new fall 2020 students were transfers. That number hovers between 30 and 40%. And our new incoming spring 2021 students were comprised of about 84% of transfer students. Again, that's very typical. It usually fluctuates between about 80 to 90% of the incoming spring class. So with that in mind, transfers are very vital to the Worcester State community. You bring with you a diverse set of educational backgrounds, of geographical backgrounds, etc., to really add some vibrancy to the campus and to the classroom. The Admissions Transfer Center was opened in December of 2014, and over the past almost 7 years, we offer a series of services to transfer students exclusively, which includes pre-transfer advising over the telephone, through email, in person especially. We also host a series of transfer-specific events like transfer information sessions, decision days, office hours, and one-on-one appointments. Since the pandemic hit, we moved to a virtual selection of these types of events. But beginning this semester, we're going to be opening that up to both virtual and transfer events, on-campus events, to give you, the student, the option that most best fits your schedule. We also have a very well-developed transfer students webpage, which includes general transfer information, a link to our transfer course equivalency guide, links to register for the events, to request request an appointment, as well as a few brief general transfer videos for you to watch at your leisure. I did mention the transfer course equivalency guide that's available publicly online. That includes about 26,000 individual course equivalencies from a little over 1,000 colleges and universities. And that certainly includes GCC, which is fairly well represented on that equivalency guide. If you happen to see a course or two that doesn't appear on the guide, not to worry, the course will still transfer. Just let me know what the course or courses are, and I will send those out to the faculty to have them evaluated so that they'll appear on that guide, which is updated almost weekly. We also prepare transfer credit evaluations at the point of admission. So along with your offer of admission, you'll also receive your transfer credit evaluation, which indicates which courses transferred to Worcester State, but also which degree program requirements they fulfilled. That document eventually becomes your degree audit, which is your pathway toward your degree. Among the top 5 transfer majors this fall semester Psychology, business, criminal justice, education, and biology. Those top 5 majors tend to fluctuate a little bit year to year, but these 5 tend to be amongst the top 5, if not the top 10, along with some others like communication. Nursing is very popular, although small numbers. So popular from a recruitment perspective, and a few others as well. But again, that list changes and fluctuates depending on interests and industries through the years. So I did mention the nursing major. It's very popular as far as the number of inquiries we receive, number of students who are interested in applying to the program. And it's probably our strongest program on campus. It has fully approved status from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Board of Registration. The nursing major and program is also accredited by the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education. And the department is also a member of the Massachusetts Association of Colleges of Nursing. Very important for this program. It's fully accredited and it's run very well. We have a lot of community partners, hospitals, rehabilitation facilities, nursing homes right here in the city of Worcester, where you can develop the professional nurse who values lifelong intellectual growth and global awareness through clinical placements, coursework, and other experiential learning opportunities. We also prepare you, the student, for the roles and responsibilities of professional nursing. It's a very well organized and operated program, and you will see that if you do transfer to the nursing program here at Worcester State. There's a couple different tracks within the major that I'm going to discuss with you. The first is the traditional track. Admission criteria for this particular track are very highly selective and competitive. We bring in a relatively small number of students into this traditional track of nursing, generally an average of 15 to 20 students. The number of applications is much, much higher than that, hence the selective and competitive admission criteria. Accepted transfer, this is a September entrance only program, so it begins fall semester only. We'll get into deadlines a little bit later. But accepted transfer applicants are placed into the first year of this in-person full-time 4-year day program. That's an awful lot, but basically that's the only year in which we have space for new incoming transfer students. Progression in the program requires a grade of C or above in any pre and co-requisite courses, although you'd be pretty much beyond that at this point, and a grade of D or above in all nursing courses. Very strict standards as you progress through the program. Clinical placements begin during the second year of the program. So your sophomore year courses, that's when the nursing courses pick up, and that's where the clinical placements associated with those courses will begin. And all of the major courses must be taken in sequence. So there's no, jumping back and forth and all around in this program. It's very rigidly structured. We also have an RN to BSN track, and I looked into it, and GCC does have an RN program, which is great. This particular track has a lot more seats available for incoming transfer students. It's closer to 30 or even more in some years. And this is an important track to highlight because hospitals in Massachusetts within the next 5 years or so are going to be requiring all RNs to have a bachelor's degree at a minimum. So for this program, the admission criteria are somewhat selective, somewhat competitive, but not anywhere near as selective and competitive as the traditional track. Just like the other track, this is a September entrance only program. Accepted applicants should anticipate completing this day program in 3, maybe 4 semesters of full-time study. And that number of semesters depends on what you bring to Worcester State. The 4th semester may be necessary to complete some general education requirements. But if you happen to complete the mass transfer block, Gen Ed block at GCC, then it'll definitely be a 3-semester program for you. All the courses are offered in a hybrid format, which it's a blend of both in-person and online coursework. So each year's cohort takes the in-person course or courses on either Tuesdays or Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the rest of the courses and course content is completed online. There are no clinical placements in this track because you've completed all that during your associate's degree program. And you also earn 29 transfer credits for the NCLEX RN licensure, for passing that licensure test. So this is automatic 29 credits. It's in place of transferring the nursing credits. We don't transfer the nursing credits from any college, whether it's part of a ADN program or another type of program. So we offer you those 29 transfer credits to acknowledge your RN license, for which you worked very hard. We have a couple extracurricular opportunities for our nursing students that I would like to highlight. The first is the National Student Nurses Association. This is a student-led organization which is actively involved in outreach, leadership, and development. Membership is mandatory for students in the traditional nursing track only. We also have the Sigma Theta Tau Iota Phi Chapter at Large, International Honor Society for Nurses. It provides leadership and scholarship and practice, education, and research to enhance the health of all people. Students are selected for membership into the local chapter, the Iota Phi Chapter at Large, based on academic and personal criteria, as the faculty will decide on that based on your performance in and outside of the classroom. Now we're going to move on to the admissions process, which will include the specific nursing transfer admission criteria. But we're going to start a little more general as far as the application process itself. You'll need to submit the Worcester State application, which is available online. There is a $50 application fee. However, that application fee can be waived if you attend either a general admissions open house or campus tour, or if you attend one of the transfer specific events that I noted earlier, transfer information session, on the spot transfer decision day, and a couple other opportunities there. We do require transfer applicants to submit the final high school transcript unless you have an associate's degree at the time of application, or if in your final semester of your associate's degree program, we can work around that as well. More importantly, we need all of your official college transcripts from every college attended, whether it was just GCC or a combination of other colleges and universities as well. If in high school, you completed an AP or IB exam at the end of the semester or academic year for an AP or IB course, or if in college you completed a CLEP exam, you'll want to send those scores directly to the Worcester State University Registrar's Office. They are the office responsible for posting credit by exam. And these would be 3 exam types. Again, this is another way we can maximize your credits and minimize your time toward a degree, with nursing being something of an exception. And if you happen to be active military or a military veteran, please submit your JST or Joint Services transcript, or the CCAF Community College of the Air Force transcript if you're in the Air Force. You'll want to send those transcripts to the admissions office. We're responsible for transferring those credits. Now, much more specifically, the traditional track transfer admissions criteria for nursing include this full list of prerequisite courses, which you should receive a grade of C or better. From what I see in the applicant pool, grades of B or better are preferred. And those would be English Composition 1 and 2, Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2, Medical or General Microbiology, a 4-credit lab-based chemistry course, statistics, could be math statistics, it could be psych stats, general psychology, intro to sociology, and nutrition. Again, although the minimum grade requirement is a C, in order to be more competitive, a grade of B or higher is preferred. Similar to the minimum GPA of a 2.75, the more realistic competitive GPA would be a 3.0 or better. And this last criteria is absolute, a composite score of 78 or higher on the TEAS exam, which is a standardized test used for healthcare program placement in colleges. It covers natural sciences, specifically biology. It also covers reading, writing, and math. So my recommendation and our nursing department's recommendation is to complete the TEAS only after you've completed the anatomy and physiology, and the microbiology coursework. Okay, this is going to look like the same slide, but this is the RN to BSN track transfer admission criteria. The list of prerequisite courses is almost the same. The one difference is there is no chemistry course required, but the English composition, the anatomy and physiology, microbiology, stats, psych, social, and nutrition are all still on there. Again, the minimum grade required is a C, and that's a little more flexible with this track. Same with the minimum GPA. Minimum GPA of a 2.5 or higher is definitely preferred, but 3.0 or higher is even better. It will definitely allow you to succeed in this program a little bit easier. And you also must be currently licensed to practice as an RN in Massachusetts, what's known as an unencumbered license, RN license. So similar to the traditional track, but a little more specific in some cases, and again, not quite so selective and competitive. As far as the deadlines, if you're interested in the traditional track of nursing, and again, these are both September entrance programs, you would need to apply by January 15th, which is firm. For the RN to BSN track, it's a May 1st firm deadline as well, although there's a little bit more flexibility there. Once again, there's no January entrance application opportunities, and all application documents must be submitted by the above stated deadlines. I do like to send out this disclaimer that due to the selective competitive admission criteria, acceptance is not guaranteed, more for the traditional track than the RN to BSN track. Generally, the RN to BSN applicants have the grades, have the GPA, they have the license, so they're a little more, it's a little easier to make those admission decisions. And finally, late applications beyond those deadlines and applications completed after those deadlines will not be considered for nursing admission consideration. So if you're concerned about deadlines, you know, they remain the same year after year, but you can always contact the transfer center. We can let you know what we have, what we don't have, what we still need, etc. But especially that traditional track of nursing, January 15th is the firmest deadline in admissions. Okay, a little bit about our costs here at Worcester State. For this academic year, these change a little bit each year. Tuition and fees for an in-state student, $10,586 for the year, and that's full-time. If you would like to live on campus, that would be an additional $12,500 for room and board, for a total what I call sticker price of $23,086 for one academic year. And now that's the cost before financial aid, before scholarships, before other ways of paying. So your actual cost should be a little bit lower than that, especially if you are eligible for financial aid opportunities. And there is one transfer merit scholarship opportunity, which is available for September entrance students only, which happen to be these two programs. It's worth $1,000 per academic year for 4 consecutive semesters or 2 years of full-time study. There's no separate application needed as a transfer applicant, an accepted transfer applicant. If you meet the criteria, which include, you know, like a 3.0 GPA, around 60 credits, you will be considered for the scholarship. There are only 15 of them, so it's extremely selective and competitive to be a scholarship transfer merit scholarship recipient. And I usually start awarding them in April, sometimes May, and award the last few probably in early to mid-June. If you have any questions, feel free to contact the Admissions Transfer Center at our email, which is dedicated exclusively for transfer students. Only 2 people answer that email, myself and my administrative assistant. We've both been here at Worcester State for over 20 years and have a good solid understanding of the transfer process. You can visit the transfer website listed next, or you can register for any given visit opportunity at that final URL that's listed there. I thank you for your time and look forward to meeting with all of you. Thank you.